All right, Rick. So, like I said, our next topic here is going to be about how I feel like people are sleeping on Apple Plus. All right. Now, let me break it down for you first, and then I want to get your thoughts on it. And I'm going to explain why I think people are sleeping on it, dude. First off, I don't know anybody, including you. We had a conversation off camera here where like you not never heard of it, but you had no idea what was even on Apple Plus because like no one talks about Apple Plus, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And my point here with this is the fact that I got an Apple Plus. I didn't buy it, and for one thing, too, it is cheap. I will say it's like $5 or $6 a month if
Oh,
you
that's
just
not
buy it
bad at all.
outright. So it's not bad. They don't have a ton of content on there, but the content that's on there is actually really good.
I see what
So
you're saying.
yeah, I watched 3 series that are on a 3 full series. I watched Morning Show, a show called Servant with Toby Kebbell, and I forget the other actress's name that the lead on there, and then Defending Jacob with our boy Steve Rogers, Captain America himself, Chris
Oh, yeah.
Evans. And all 3 of those shows are very high quality productions. They were very good. Like, they were enjoyable to watch. Like, some better than others, but, um, I don't know, they were just really good shows. And then, what I think people are sleeping on more so than anything, for one, is that obviously, like I said, those shows are really good. So go watch those shows, by the way, because a morning show has Steve Carell from The Office and Jennifer Aniston,
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
from Friends. In it. So it was a really good show, and it was actually very relevant to today's stuff because, like, I don't know if they planned this by any means, and this might turn some people off, but it's not like a huge central point of the show. There's just something that affects a character on it that has to do with like the Me Too movement kind of thing,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, it came out at a good time, I feel like,
Oh,
but,
for sure, yeah.
because it was very relevant.
Yeah.
But, another thing that Apple did very recently was our boy Marty Scorsese was trying to make a period drama, I forget what it's called, but, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Uh, Paramount owns the licensing to this movie as being the, producer and distributor of the film.
Yeah.
But our boy Marty went up
Marty.
to
Old Marty.
Old Marty went to the boys at Paramount and said he needed $200 million to do this period piece drama, like not an action, big Marvel comic book, crazy CGI, none of that shit. He wanted $200 million to do a period piece drama movie.
That's insane.
And Paramount said, "Fuck you, dude, no." Like in the nicest way possible. You're one of the best directors in the world, but no. And they said, "You can go shop it around and see if you can find anybody who's willing to pay that." Like they let themselves like released the production deal part of like they still own the rights to the film and they're going to be the distributors of this film, but they don't want to pay for it.
No.
But you know who did?
Hmm.
Fucking Apple.
Man,
Apple was like,
"We'll give you 200 million.
We'll give you
Sure.
200 mil. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's literally let me find some shit in my couch cushions. There you go."
Yeah.
Because between Apple and Amazon, they could buy every movie studio 10 times over.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
they have an abundance of money. And Apple is making some big plays. Like getting a prestige movie from a prestige director like
Don't
Martin
sleep on Apple.
Scorsese. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't sleep on
Don't
it.
sleep on.
Now, the movie in general could suck, and like it's obviously
Yeah.
going to be, but as far as the money and production goes, it ain't meaning nothing to Apple. But what it does for them, they know they're going to lose money on it. They get a Martin Scorsese movie exclusively on their platform.
Yeah.
Much like what Netflix did when nobody wanted to give Marty again like $200 million to make The Irishman. Netflix was like, well, we'll do it because they need their own original content on there, and having some like a piece of material from a director like Martin Scorsese.
Did you see that, by the way?
I did.
It was long.
It was long. It didn't
Very
need to
long.
be that long. It
Yeah.
was good. Like, I liked it. There were a lot of points in time, though, where, like, I could tell that everyone's being de-aged, and it wasn't like the CGI part bothered me. It was because,
Yeah.
like, Robert De Niro's body type didn't fit him being, like, a 30-year-old dude beating the shit out of people because
It was
like,
very strange.
yeah, I don't know. Regardless, though, when it comes down to Apple making these big plays, they're at it again here because Apple and Warner Brothers, they were getting up to $130 million bid on this Emancipation movie with Will Smith. Now, this was reported from Deadline as like there was a bidding war between the two, but a little later, it came out and officially, like, Apple won it. So Apple forks over hundreds of millions again to get some exclusive content. And, apparently, like, everything that's been reported about this film that they're gonna be making is, like, supposed to be really good as far as, like, the script and everything goes. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
If you wanna look up more into the movie, just go in and look more of it up, 'cause that's what I'm really just trying to talk about right now is just, like, I think everyone's sleeping on Apple. Like,
It sounds good. I
sleeping
mean,
on Apple. So, I mean, I'll watch anything Will Smith.
yeah.
So, I
Oh,
mean,
for
that
sure.
like, that being said, I'm gonna watch this movie more than likely, especially if I still have Apple Plus at the time. So, why wouldn't I? But, another point here, Rick, that I have where people sleeping on Apple, it's not just me who knows Apple's putting out some good content, they're making some big plays because this guy, Chris Parnell, exits Sony Pictures to go and work as a senior TV programming executive for none other than Apple.
Apple. Yep.
So, the moral of the story here, guys, is obviously, again, don't sleep on Apple. Like, they're making some big moves, and I feel like in the next I don't know, man, in the next 5 years or so, easy, I think Apple's gonna be they're gonna be in a really good spot, especially since they're acquiring, like, just, like, talent. Like, this guy like, I don't know much about this dude, but it was someone who was a higher up at another actual fully fledged production company being Sony, coming over to be the TV programming executive for them. Again, they're just making some big plays here,
It's a pretty
and,
big
like,
deal. I mean,
it is, because I mean, Apple, because it's more of a gamble for somebody like this gentleman to
Chris
leave
Burnett.
yeah, to leave, Sony Pictures, a very well-established and successful production company
Yeah.
in the entertainment business. He's gonna leave that to come pretty much work at a little startup, Apple Plus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, obviously, it's Apple, so, I mean, I'm sure they're paying him well to come over and do this, but
Yeah.
it's just the kind of thing where where it just kinda speaks volumes to the extent that Apple is going, like, just the money they're putting up, the talent they're acquiring, like, even as far as the content goes, like I said, like, they've got some big name people in all of these shows, like, even the 3 that I mentioned I watched, they were all very well made too, like, they were, like, high production value, all the acting was, like, really good in it. I'd highly recommend going and watching them all again. I was Defending Jacob, Servant, and Morning Show, so go and watch
Yeah.
those, especially you, Rick.
How
They're good.
much? Yeah. Of course, me. How much is Apple? Like
How
Apple Plus?
how much is Apple?
Not no. How much is the streaming service?
Oh, it's like $5.99 a month or something.
Oh yeah.
It's like $4.99. It's between $4 and $6. I forget what it is, but if you, like, recently buy they're doing a promotion right now, just kinda like what Disney Plus did with Verizon, recently, but if
Oh
you
yeah. That's how I watched The Mandalorian.
yeah, if you recently bought, like you didn't even have to buy anything. If you recently registered a Apple device under your email, they just sent you a free year sub to it.
Yeah.
So,
My girlfriend at the time had Verizon, and I mentioned that. That was like, dude, we can get Disney Plus, and next thing you know, we're watching The Mandalorian. That was pretty cool.
well, that's the kind of thing too. Kind of on topic with this and the Peacock thing with Disney Plus. They had nothing but Mandalorian that anybody cared about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they have a massive back catalog at the very least supporting, like, people coming back to some degree. It's great for children and everything.
Yeah. Definitely.
But, like, Apple here had to come out the gate with 0 content, essentially. Like, they had a couple shows, they had a couple movies, but when they came out, they went hard, dude. Like, they got some big names to come in and do these
That's-
shows with them.
I was just about to say that. I mean, even from like Steve Carell and whoever else you mentioned or whatever. But yeah.
Well, yeah, like Jason Momoa is a star of a show called C on there, like SEEC.
Yeah. He's huge.
Like, but he was blowing up. They made some big plays right out the gate. But no one talks about it. Like, no one at all talks about them. And I find it kind of shocking to some degree, just because, like I said, having watched like at least 3 of their full series on there and knowing how well they are, like, just production talent wise, and just they were good. But no one talks about it. But, like, obviously some people are noticing because this dude's coming over. Like he's gonna come up. So hopefully, I mean, this is a big move for them, and this dude knows what's up, and he's gonna make a maybe they'll make the marketing people, make some stuff happen because I
Yeah.
swear to God, I feel like no one knows about it.
No.
It's like unless you have an Apple, unless you use Apple devices, I'm sure you're getting constant ads all the time for their stuff.
I
But
actually haven't. I have a MacBook Pro and
yeah, but do you use like iTunes and stuff on a regular
No.
basis? To where,
I
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
because if you use like the iTunes and go to the iTunes store or the App Store, I'm sure they're blasting their ads on there.
Yeah.
I use
no.
an Android, so like I don't. Have
That's
that
how I
problem.
am too.
I have an iPad that literally has been dead for like 6 months now.
The MacBook Pro is free. Usually I'd get something else.
Yeah, I ain't paying. Dude, there was a thing that came out. I don't know if this is real, but I saw this thing pop up on my phone where it was like a news alert thing, where it said Apple is considering selling the new iPhone without a charger. And like,
What?
I didn't know if it was an Onion article or if it was real.
Well, that's the thing
because,
with
like,
Apple. You can never tell.
it seemed like something they would fucking do.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Apple's-
wow, dude.
I've just
like-
never had much of a desire for any of their products.
No, me either. And
No hate.
yeah,
but-
I don't know. And not to mention, dude, not to hate on Apple in any way, shape, or form by any means, but dude, I hate the way AirPods look.
I do too.
Dude, they look ridiculous. They look so stupid.
I have a pair of like Bose AirPods that just look like regular headphones.
I got little like little earbuds that go in my ear. They pop in like real good. They're like like Raycons. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Those are perfect. You don't even see them in your ear.
No, that's how mine are.
These AirPods, dude, they look like you
whack.
have like Q-tips hanging out of your ear. It looks ridiculous.
It's just everything. Not to keep hating on it or anything like that, but
No,
I've always had Android. I've had one iPhone, and
Right.
it's just they're so expensive for what you get, like, and what you can do with it.
Dude, anymore, yeah. And
I
even-
get so much shade from people for using Android, but I don't even care because
No.
it's.
dude, even Android phones are fucking super expensive. Anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I remember when I still have like the Note 8, and it cost like $1,000 when it came out.
Oh yeah, I've got an S10, and it was pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's like I still have the Note 8 because for one, it still works. It's fine. It's got some screen burn in problems, but like it works perfectly fine. But I mainly have it because I ain't gonna go out and spend because I think the new S20s or whatever, they were like, if you got the higher the bigger internal memory card in it or hard drive in it, they were like $1,500.
It's insane.
Like I'm not trying to spend $1,500 on a
remember-
fucking cell phone.
Back in the day when you and I used to work at the fabled Best Buy, that's where I'd always get my phones because we worked there. And back in the day, like even 5 years ago, it was just like, oh yeah, free phone for signing up, and it's like a brand new iPhone or Galaxy S7 or 8 or whatever it is.
At least something.
Yeah, and nowadays that's like unheard of. You have to lease your phones, like
Which is better than the alternative though.
it is.
Because I was literally about to say that. Like at least now they let you just lease them, and that's the thing. It's no interest at the very least.
Yeah, you
It's
get a
just-
better phone, and you
Yeah, it's
paying-
just you're gonna. But that's the problem though. If you're gonna get a $1,500 phone over your 2-year contract, that's still like what? Hold on, I want this math to come.
Got to pull up the calculator.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna go 1,500 divided by 24. That's $62 extra on your bill every month. You know what I mean?
That's insane.
And imagine having like a 4-person family, okay?
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, well, Jimmy, Sally, and Tommy all need new phones. So it's going to cost me, on top of the line fees and all this bullshit, it's going to be $250 just for the phones a month for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Granted, though, the phones are great.
Yeah.
Like anymore, like the phones, like what you're getting now. I mean, it's like, can you remember when we had to use floppy drives, right? Like floppy
Yeah,
disks,
yeah.
You know, I mean, this was like recently to us anyway. Like it was, I remember still using my, my Super Nintendo with cartridge game blowing on it, putting it in. And
Yeah.
like now, the thing I hold in my pocket here, not only is it a more powerful computer than anything that we had during those times, it's also a global communications device.
Well,
So it's like,
I remember back in the
Give and
day, and
take.
I'm sure you heard this back when I was in like math class in like elementary school, junior high, high school, even. They're like, oh, you're not going to have a calculator with you wherever you go. Dude, I can take a picture of a fucking math problem and have it solved by
Right.
taking a photo of it now. Like, I
Right.
can look up anything I want to just by saying, like, hey, Google, what's this?
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
like,
they were worried about, but that just goes to show you how different the times were and how far we've come
yeah.
ever since then. Because like literally, I don't know how many. I think every single teacher I had, all through, even at the end when I was in there, when cell phones were first coming out, and you literally did have a calculator.
That
in
was
your
like
pocket.
right when we were like
Yeah.
junior and senior years of
But
high school.
yeah, it wasn't like they hadn't quite gotten to the touchscreen smartphone phase.
Yeah.
Even then, teachers were still saying that, like, you're not gonna have a calculator in your
Calculator on your freaking cheap iWireless like Nokia.
Well, yeah, anymore too. Like even back then, they had the calculator watches you could use.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. But anymore, like speaking of which, the smartwatches for fuck's sake. Like let alone like you're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket. Now the little watches you can get are more powerful than that. So it's kind of crazy.
I hate to say it. I actually got an Apple Watch for free back when I had my iPhone. It was pretty cool for free. You know, I don't think
Yeah.
I'd buy one, but
Last thing when I got this is completely off topic for like the last 5 minutes, but either way, when I got the Note 8, I got a free kind of going with what you were saying. Like before, you could get a new phone when you sign up with a new contract or whatever.
yeah,
But for a while, they would at least run deals where you'd get a free item with it,
like a smartwatch or
yeah.
something.
Because I remember when the Note 7 came out, like the ones that were blowing up on everybody. I went and got that. Mine didn't blow up on me, but I went.
That's good.
I got a free 256 gig micro SD card just for buying the phone.
That's fucking crazy.
So then I got to keep that when I had to return the phone to get the Note 8 when it came out and stuff.
Yeah,
But I mean, they were doing that, and you could also choose to get like a. I don't know. I ended up with two of these. I don't know if it happened at the same time, but I have a Gear 360 camera Samsung too that I got.
Oh yeah, I had coworkers that got that.
Yeah, I've never used it, but I got it for free.
That's the one that takes like the full 360 photo.
Yeah, yeah.
You haven't used that?
Never
I've been
used
playing around with that.
it. I've literally never used it. I forgot I had it until I was just telling the story. But that's the only other cool thing that about it is that at least you can get some free stuff every once in a while.
Yeah,
But I don't know, guys. That was completely off topic for a little bit. But what do you guys think about Apple? I'm telling you, do you agree that Apple is they're being slept on a bit? Do you think
don't
people
sleep on Apple.
don't sleep on? I'm telling you, their phones might be insanely expensive and not come with everything you need, but they seem to be doing a pretty good job when it comes to the entertainment division here. Okay, like with the big moves, like acquiring that Chris Parnell guy, and I don't know the Marty Scorsese stuff. Is I think Apple's gonna be pretty big here soon as far as the entertainment stuff goes. They're already huge.
It's inexpensive too. I mean,
no, to them, yeah. Like it. That's the thing. Like they can spend all the money they want building this stuff up. The problem is just getting people interested in it. But if they keep making plays like this, I'm already on board with it. I think that I'd like they have me convinced based on the shows I've watched and these plays they're still making. And like I said, they can dump all the money they want into the production of this stuff. So as long as they keep dumping that money into talented, people and making good stuff, I think it's gonna be good.
yeah.
I think it's good. What do you guys think? Just let us know down in the comment section below.